Before we get further into everything, I know that you guys out there, cameras up here today, you guys out there are already drinking, because if you're not, you're silly people. Hopefully you started with the Rosado. So we're going to just pour a little Rosado for ourselves. And I hope you guys are enjoying it out there. This is 100% Tempranillo.
It's 100% Tempranillo. In this region, Ribera is limited to, everything has to be at least 75% Tempranillo to be released with the money-making stamp, which you'll find on the back of the bottle. It's, I think where you get that up there for the camera, right there. They are allowed to blend with Cab, Merlot, Garnacha, Malbec, and Albio. I don't know anyone using Albio.
Albio is the white variety.
The white varietal. The only white varietal allowed within the DO to be grown. I know one person using Garnacha, one using Malbec, and most everybody else, if they blend, which is only about 5 to 10% of producers, they blend with Cab and Merlot, and usually no more than 10%. Everything we're showing tonight is 100% Tempranillo. Almost everything you'll find in the stores is 100%. It is the exception to find a blend. The range of taste and quality across that many winemakers using a single grape varietal, and within that a single clone within the Tempranillo grape, is incredible. And it really shows what a winemaker can do art-wise.
And it shows the terroir of the region.
Cheers.
Cheers. So some of these bottles will say Tinto Fino on the back. Some might say Tinto del País.
Del País. Those are names for the clone in this region. There are at least 14 different clones of Tempranillo in Spain. Some people say up to 18. There's another 4 or 5 in Portugal. Tempranillo is a party grape. It adapts itself to the soil that it's grown in. This is one of the harshest climates in all of Spain. We're 200 meters higher than Rioja, for instance. We're all continental. It's a very, very dark place. The clone Tinto Fino and Tinto del País will handle the weather. Baby Rioja plants brought to Ribera del Duero will not live through the winter
Just
here.
die?
They just die.
So these plants give, the clone gives small clusters, small berries, making powerful wines. Are the plants themselves a little more compact?
They have to be because of the wind.
I would
They tend to stay smaller. Even in most of the trellises are kept low as well because there's the harsh winds coming through. There's not a lot of forestation here to protect from the wind. And as you'll see when we get to the land pictures again, it's like a canyon. It's a big open canyon in many ways.
Go there. This is a map of the region, including and surrounding Ribera del Duero. And Ribera del Duero, basically Aranda del Duero in the middle, and it stretches on this map, not to
as far
Soria.
as Valladolid, or Soria. It's about, I would say, the center circle of that is pretty much, right in there. This is pretty much what holds it.
And this is a map of, this is really what the Ribera
right down to Aranda. And this wine, the Torre Milanos make the Maria Castilla Rosado. It comes from just below Aranda del Duero. In fact, when you're standing in their vineyards, you can see down into the town. Torre Milanos is an old winery. The family's been there for about 100 years. They make 10 different wines here. Plus, they make a few wines that are outside the
They
DO.
make 10 different wines?
10 different wines at this winery.
In Ribera?
In Ribera. They have three
it's just an amazing, besides single vineyard wines from Pinot makers in California, there's nobody who's making 10 different wines from a single vintage, the same grape.
They're a fairly large production. They do have some wines made from unallowed grapes. They're experimenting with things like Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, which cannot be released as Riberas, but they're released as Vino de la Tierra, Castilla y León, which is the next step down, like the IGT system in Italy.
Sure.
But within the Ribera, they're doing 10 different wines. This one is actually the first one they pick. It's picked 5 days before anything else is picked, and it comes from the lowest vineyards. They're about 20 years old. And to do the Rosado, and then they go back in a few days later to start picking the reds.
So the lowest vineyard. So this is an interesting.
When you say low, 2,700 feet above sea level is their lowest vineyard.